How much money do you need to start a private label brand on Amazon? We're about to find out. Welcome back to the Freeway Flippers. I'm Liz. My husband Casey and I, we are full-time resellers. We mainly sell private label products on Amazon. We have been selling since 2016. We have built a brand and we have about 12 SKUs. We profit anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000 a month, but I see a lot of misinformation on the internet where you have these people trying to sell you these Amazon FBA courses to learn how to private label, and they're not being 100% truthful. There's a lot of things that you should know about starting a private label brand, and I'm actually going to share how it works, the expenses that you're gonna have, and use one of our products as a real life example to give you an idea of how much exactly you're gonna need. All right, so if you're interested in selling private label products, private label is exactly what it sounds like. You are going to be the person that is going to brand an item. So what you would do is use software such as Jungle Scout to find products that are already selling on Amazon that you can then find a manufacturer to manufacture those products, buy in bulk, put your individual brand name on that product, create a listing on Amazon, and then sell those products. Now, before we go any further, we did take Kevin David's FBA Ninja course back in 2016 when it first came out. It was $997, and we have turned that investment into over $1 million in revenue on Amazon. So we definitely find it was worth it. There was a lot of information that we couldn't find on the internet at the time, but nowadays I do not think you need to purchase a course. Save that money for other expenses that are going to go with selling private label products. I highly recommend watching the Jungle Scout $1 million case study. They have, I think, maybe 5 seasons of it, and it goes from start to finish, and they use their software, which we have used Jungle Scout from the beginning. The only other software we've used is Viral Launch that we felt it did not have the data or the features that Jungle Scout has. We just feel that Jungle Scout is a superior software. So with that being said, let's get started. I want to talk about all the different expenses that go into creating a private label brand, and then give you an example of what we pay for one of our products. All right, so when you are starting private label, you are gonna want software. You need software. Now, there are ways that you can find products without using software, but you are going to want that data. With Jungle Scout, they give us the data on the keywords, so we know exactly what words actual Amazon customers are searching on Amazon, and that gives us an idea on how we can optimize our title, our bullets on our listing, and it's just really important to have that. Jungle Scout is definitely worth it. You need it. That's an expense you are going to want to pay, because in the end, your goal is to have a fully optimized listing, and Jungle Scout gives you all that data. So once you use Jungle Scout or whatever other software that you choose to use, then you will find a product that you would then track to see if that's one that maybe the item doesn't have a lot of other private label sellers. It has low reviews, which means it hasn't been on the Amazon platform that long. It is a good price to where you can buy it at a cost of goods, and with shipping and all the other expenses, then profit on that particular item. Maybe you are looking at a product where the other sellers just don't have the best photos out there. So there's lots of different things that you need to think of when you are researching private label products, but definitely need software to do that. Once you find the product that you want to then brand and sell yourself, you need to find a manufacturer who is going to make that product. Now, what everybody's familiar with is Alibaba. That is a Chinese website that puts you in contact with actual suppliers that would manufacture the product that you are interested in. Now, when you find a supplier, because you're going to want to use a letter, I have a manufacturing letter. I'll leave it in a link down below that you can use, that you can fill out, and it just helps you be able to communicate with the supplier and lets them know what item you're interested in, how many you want to purchase, and just a little bit more information to then open up the communication with that supplier. Once you find one that you like, that you maybe have a good pricing for, you are going to want to order a sample. A sample used to cost about $50, and now it's costing anywhere from $100 to $200. The last sample that we paid for before was $150 because they're making one item, and you also get it air shipped, which costs a little bit more money. So that's just an expense that you're going to have off the bat before you even agree to a minimum order quantity. So once you find that item and you've ordered the sample and you like how it looks and everything is great and you want to place an order with the supplier, most suppliers are going to require that you put 30% down. So right off the bat, you're going to need 30% to pay the supplier to start production. You wouldn't owe the 70% until the product is finished. You will then have to pay shipping, any tariffs. Maybe you are going to pay for an inspection, a third-party inspection company to come and inspect the goods to make sure that they are manufactured up to your expectations. But also some of the other expenses that you need to think about that factor into selling private label products would be opening up an LLC, especially since you're going to be selling a lot of items. Private label, you buy in bulk, you might buy an order of 500, 1,000. You're going to be doing a lot in revenue. You want to separate your personal from your business. So creating an LLC for that brand in whatever state you live in, you might pay about $150 for that. I think that's about what we paid in Arizona to create an LLC. Now Amazon is requiring all sellers to have Amazon insurance. So that's something that once your private label products start selling, you're going to want to pay for that insurance, and it can range anywhere from $30 to $50 a month. So that's going to be another expense. You're also going to want to either do it yourself or outsource product packaging, a logo. You're going to want really good photos with a nice crisp white background. So that could be an expense. I know some people that pay almost up to $1,000 for really good lifestyle photos. It's just the cost of creating a brand on Amazon. You might want to pay for a website and maybe have your own domain, so that way you can run Facebook ads, maybe start a Shopify site, sell your products on there. So that's another expense that you would have. You're going to need a UPC, which we use nationwide barcodes. So each item that you create a listing for on Amazon, if it's new and it's never been sold on there, is going to need a UPC. So that's something else you're going to have to purchase. If you are planning on expanding your brand and really found a product that you can build a brand around, then you're going to want to do brand registry, trademark that item. So you're going to have to either do LegalZoom, which is going to be a huge expense, or find a lawyer around you or maybe online that can then trademark the brand name for you. And then don't forget that some of the expenses you're going to have are going to be Amazon fees, returns, maybe any advertising that you do, PPC, marketing, maybe consulting. So there are a lot of expenses that go into selling private label products. It's not like retail, online arbitrage, wholesale, where you're buying products that are already on the Amazon platform, they're already branded, and you don't have to create all this stuff. So private label definitely has a lot more expenses than retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, and wholesale. All right, so let's use one of our products as an example to give you a better idea of the expenses that you're going to accrue, and then any idea of how it even works. How much money are you going to need? Would $1,000 be enough to start a private label brand? We're going to find out, and we're going to break it all down right now. All right, so this particular product, we paid $150 for a sample. We ended up ordering 500 units. Each unit cost $4.04. So if you take the 500 units at $4.04 a piece, our cost of the goods just to manufacture 500 was $2,020. To start production, the 30%, we needed $606 just to start the production up front. That is how much our supplier required. So before we even had any of our products sent to Amazon, we had to pay the $606 plus the $100.50 sample fee. Now we're pretty blessed because we have all the photography equipment, so we didn't have to pay for photographs. I created our own packaging using Canva. We already had UPCs from other brands, so we didn't have to pay for that expense. We decided that we were not going to trademark this particular product because we didn't have proof that it was even going to sell, so we chose to not pay for a trademark up front. We only used social media. We did not pay for a domain, so we did not have that expense. And when we launched, we ended up sending about 5 of the items to different influencers so that that way they could share with their audience, because we found influencers that could really use our product and really share it on social media. Once the 500 units were finished, we ended up having to pay that 70%, which was $1,414. Plus, we paid to sea ship it from China to the Amazon warehouse, which the Amazon warehouse they assigned us was in LA. So it was right by where the port was, and that cost was $690 to ship. So the total that we paid for the sample, the 500 units, and the shipping was $2,170. So before we even sold one unit, we had already paid $2,170. That's before selling any of the items. So private label definitely has a little bit more risk because you are investing and paying for the product up front. So you definitely need to have a lot of capital to do private label. So those that I see online saying you can start a private label product line for $1,000, $2,000, I don't think that's being realistic. This is the reason why. So the items that we sell the item for $16.99. The cost of goods to ship the item is $4.73. The FBA fees is $5.74. So the FBA fees plus the cost of goods plus to ship it, we're already in per unit for $10.47. So if we're selling our item for $16.99 minus the $10.47, that leaves us with a profit per item of $6.52. So if we sell all 500 units, which is not realistic because you're gonna have items that you send to influencers or use for a launch strategy, maybe you have refunds, maybe they get damaged in the Amazon warehouse, maybe they get damaged during shipping. If we were to sell 500 of those units at the profit that we would make, we would profit $3,260. Which sounds great. However, if we start selling those items, and let's say we have 500 in the warehouse, we are already sold through 200 of them, well, we need to have enough lead time to then order more product, which is gonna cost more money. And that's one thing I didn't mention yet, was the lead time private label is a little bit more challenging. Right now, if we told our supplier we need 500 units manufactured, it would take a good 3 to 4 weeks for them to finish that particular product. Then it's going to take another 4 to 6 weeks to ship to us. So you're looking at lead times of 2 to 3 months, depending on where your product's manufactured, where it's going to land in the United States. So the lead time is very tricky. You have to plan it to where you don't want to run out of stock in Amazon because that hurts the algorithm of your product. So you want to make sure you're placing your new order in time to get manufactured and shipped so you don't sell out in the Amazon warehouse. So right away, if we started selling them, we would probably place another order and we would need 30%. So that would be $606. So right off the bat, we've already spent all the money for the 500, plus we need another 30% to do a reorder, plus all the different expenses. You know, you're paying for your software, the professional seller fee of $39.99 a month with Amazon, plus any other expenses that you have. So I would recommend, in the end, if you want to start a private label product on Amazon, you are going to need between $7,000 and $10,000. That's just being realistic. And a lot of it's a case by case, item by item situation. Maybe you find an item that you can manufacture for $2 to $3, maybe $1 to $2, but I wouldn't start an Amazon private label brand unless I had the capital to do so, because private label is very cash heavy. You're going to need money to reinvest and to buy more product, and it just keeps snowballing and snowballing and snowballing. Hopefully this video gave you a little bit more insight on private label and starting a private label brand to give you an idea of how much you are going to need. If you have any questions about selling private label products, leave them in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any more videos that we do. And until the next one, I'll catch you on the flip.